If you want to find the domain, the range, and the intercepts with the TI-84 calculator, the quickest way is probably just to graph it. So if you go to the y equals menu, and then if you type your variable, divide by, then I need a parentheses, and it's our variable squared, minus 81. So we got it all typed in, and then we should be able to go to, I think it's window next. Once we got it typed in, maybe I'll hit enter just to save it. There we go. And window. No, that's not it. Graph. That makes more sense. Okay, and then it graphed our function. So if you don't see anything remarkable, you might have to change the settings in the window. So if you click window, Xmin and Xmax is saying on the X-axis it stops at -10, goes to +10. It stops on the Y-axis at -10, goes up to +10. So you have to adjust those a lot of the time to see your graph. You can make it bigger or smaller, change the center. But this one, it's far enough so we can see what's going on. There's vertical asymptotes at -9 and +9. So that means for our domain, we have to exclude those values. But every other value is possible. If I was to zoom out, just 3, well, that didn't really do it, I guess. But if I was to change the window, make it a little bigger, let's make this -15 and that's enough to see. You can see that we have any possible value on the x-axis until we hit -9. So I'm going to write -infinity. Oh, where's my color? Okay, gotta draw it. So -infinity to -9, then I stop, and then I write union, because like we take any number up till -9, and then we break, and then we get back on once we get past -9, and again to +9, and then a break, and then 9 to infinity. All these are possible x values. Yeah, they want interval notation, so that's what we do. Now the range are all the possible y values. So this line is going down. That looks like -infinity. It's as low as we can go, quote unquote. We never reach -infinity, but if you keep going up, you might see on this one, it looks like there's a horizontal asymptote, but look, it crosses at y equals 0 right here. Because if you were to plug in 0 in for x, you would get out 0 for y. So 0 is possible. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's an infinite amount of numbers above the x-axis too. So the range is -infinity to +infinity. If it was 1 over x, the range would be -infinity to 0, union 0 to infinity. Because 0 is not possible. You'd see a horizontal asymptote there. X-intercepts, this is where it crossed the x-axis. Looks like it doesn't cross here because of the horizontal asymptote, except it does cross here. So in case you're not sure where it is, I think the trace function is what you'd want. And that will get you somewhat close. I think there is a function on the TI to help you find intercepts too. Let's see if it's in math. I don't see it here. Second calc, I think is what it was. Yeah, second calc. And then we want to find, well, I think that, I'm not sure which 0 this would be. Let's try it. Oh, okay, yep. So here, I'll repeat that. If you hit second, so you can get to the blue menu options, calc, then we want to find where it crosses the x-axis. That's the 0. That's where the y is 0. And for the TI, you need something a little bit to the left of the 0, something a little bit to the right of the 0. And then a guess would be somewhere in between. That's our guess for what it is. And then it tells us x equals 0, we have a y-intercept of 0. And where does it cross the y-axis? That's a straight up and down line. It crosses the y-axis also at 0.